Good morning, it's Bando again, and this is Breakfast with Bando. Just an impromptu video. I wasn't actually planning to make one a day, so this isn't really episode 2, this is sort of episode 1.5. A guy on the Outer Circle Discord asked me how I painted my Raven Guard, and the answer wasn't particularly popular, because the way I paint my Raven Guard is filthy. It's incredibly basic, and yeah, I thought I'd go through it. So Tripwire over at the Outer Circle, or the Outer Circle's Discord server. This one's for you. But before I start, I really do need to apologise, because I wanted to apologise because, well, basically because I don't actually look like this, guys. I know everyone who follow or who's on Discord with me is utterly devastated. So, yeah. Instead, we'll be talking about the Raven Guard. So, if you are after Space Marines who, like to hide in the shadows and follow a Primarch who looks like Thomas Anders from Modern Talking, then, yeah, stick around. So, first of all, I've got a couple of images here of some of my Raven Guard in their nearly finished state. These guys are about 90% done. There's just a couple of, dotting the I's and crossing the T's here with them. And it's very, very basic. This is a dirty, realistic style. And I actually use maybe 6 paints in here. The hardest part is the white, which uses 2 colours, which is white and Othwin grey, or any bluey off white. So yeah, there's a little video. I hope the video comes through okay, and you can't just hear me breathing heavily throughout the whole thing like you can through the rest of this video. And yeah, so in this video, I use Scale 75 Black, which is a really nice matte black. Unfortunately, I've just run out. And I do 1 coat of it. I then do some chipping with a silver. This is the silver I'm using at the moment, which is just one of the ones from MiG Ammo. And then I weather things with a reddy brown, which is, again, Scale 75's orange leather. And that's what I'm going to be doing here in this clip. So I've got a Raven Guard here, lovely Mark II armour. And he's had his black, his white, and his silver done. And you can see along the edges of all the plates, I've got the chipping, which is literally just neat silver, just dabbed along where the weathering's going to be, where the armour would get worn, so sharp edges, points of contacts like the knees and the elbows. And then I take some of this orange leather, and I water it down like really, really thin. And that's not even enough. I'm going to actually be watering this down after I've put it onto the model, because what I'm doing is almost the same process as you'd get with an oil wash. So yeah, you can just see I'm just testing the consistency there on my fingers. I do apologise that this keeps coming out of focus. And then I just slop it on, just like I would with an oil paint, but this is an acrylic, so you do have to work a bit faster with this. Then I load my brush up with water, not too much, and then I wash it away. And I just move it into the recesses. I literally just pick it up, move it around. This is where all the fine dirt and grime, just the detritus and wear you get. If you're in a battlefield, if you're in sort of a filthy environment, you pick up dirt in all sort of your nooks and crannies. Anyone who's ever gone camping or has gone play paintball or something, you're finding bits of dirt and guff everywhere for days. You go to the beach and you're picking sand out of your shoes for a month. And yeah, I'm even going over the white. The only thing I've done differently here that I would have normally done is I probably would have done my decals before, but I've actually run out of anything Raven Guard related. So I'm not going to bother with decals on this guy. And what you want to do is you actually want to do 2 coats of this. So what I've done in this video, I think, is only the first coat. When I was finished with it, I went back and I just blasted the whole thing with a hairdryer just to dry it off really, really quickly. And then I literally did this exact process again, focusing on the areas where the dust and grime would really pick up. So the knees, the feet, the lower legs. But it goes everywhere. This is how I add depth, because the black is a single coat or two coats of black. There is no highlight there. There is no glazing on the black. It is one coat of black, and I think that's what got people angry, because yeah, it's pretty easy. And I get it everywhere. I mean, this bit here, right here in the gorget, the sort of the chest. That's a great area, because that's exactly the sort of area that bits of rubble and dust would collect when, you know, a bolt around or a missile went off, blowing up a wall above him, and it all would rain down on top of him, and all the sort of bits of rubble would just clink off his armour. But that's where the gravel and stuff would be in those little shot trap areas. You've got to watch out that you're not just slopping it on too thick. You're not actually painting. You are washing this on. This is a wash, a glaze almost. Wow, my camera work is awful in this. I can't actually find my tripod, so as you can tell at the bottom of this video, I have propped my phone up against a glass. So yeah, if anyone sees my tripod around my workshop, I would love to know where that is. But yeah, again for this I just use an old brush as well. This is just a cheap sort of synthetic brush, and I'm just going in, keeping it thin. On lighter areas like the shoulder pads, you really want to make sure you're not letting it pool, because you get nasty tide marks. So here we've got the finished deal, and that's 2 coats and allowed to dry. And this is why I really love the Scale 75 paints, because they finish with this wonderful chalky texture. You can do the same by mixing some matte medium and some pigment into any other paints. And if you're feeling really adventurous, this is the stage to actually add some proper streaking in. Take the paint, exactly the same paint you've been using, leave it as a little thicker, and just use a fine brush and draw your streaks on, coming down from things like your rivets and your chipping. And you can see it's blended the whites in slightly. Nothing's too clean. That's a big problem with white, especially. Everyone leaves it far too clean. Or unless you're a World Eaters fan, it gets really dirty. And you can see here against another Marine who hasn't had anything. And lastly is a little bit of a sneak peek towards what I'm working on for my Raven Guard, what you'll be seeing in the future. Right. As I said, this is just a quick one off the cuff, because Tripwire asked me how I did things. If anyone has any questions, just drop a comment. Hit me up on Discord. The name is Bando on Discord. I'm always happy to chat. You know where to find me.